good morning, afternoon or evening or night, depending when you're watching this latest Two Seats video. I'm Keith Bell, stuck up in Livingston with my little Carloo in the garage, and on the other screen is Neil White, who seems to be buffing his clapperboard right now.
Yeah, I'm just cleaning my clapperboard.
The reason for this video today is we've been inspired by a friend of ours, Swanee, ex-colleague from Speedy Bake days, who recently visited...
What date is it today? 28th. Sorry, carry on.
28th of January. Who recently visited a hotel which was one of our stops on our road trip to Italy. For those that have not watched any of these videos before, Neil and I embarked on a road trip under the guise of Thelma and Louise from Wakefield in Yorkshire all the way down the country that is the UK, or the English part of the country, crossed over on ferry, and then by very scenic road, made our way to Tuscany in Italy. But with a couple of stops along the way, so in true Thelma and Louise fashion, we're joining the trip halfway through today. But as I say, it's because of the memories that were brought to the fore by Mick Swan recently visiting the same hotel. And I can't pronounce the name of the town, so that'll come up as part of the video.
It's Innertkirchen, I think it is.
So it's not in a kitchen.
No, it's not in a kitchen. We called it in a kitchen because we couldn't pronounce it, being ignorant Brits.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is the hotel, and this is us arriving at the hotel. And
so what I think we're going to do is we're just going to Neil and I are going to watch the video and kind of talk through it. We'll hopefully not be too starty-stoppy, but we're going to do some clever editing so that doesn't happen. Aren't you, Neil? And look, it's only, the actual video is only a few minutes long, so this whole session will only be hopefully 5-10 minutes.
Just a couple of hours.
Couple of hours, we'll have a chat at the end, and Sunday will have turned into Monday. Okay, there we go. Right, let's start the video. Love your clapperboard, Neil.
Thank you.
Go.
Yeah, so quick and easy intro. Believe it or not, in the whole 3,000 miles, this was the only section that we shot with one of us out of the car.
I know.
The intention was that we'd do all of it like that, but I think we just got carried away.
Got carried away with the driving part, but look at that scenery, Neil.
It's gorgeous.
My God. Well, here we go. This is an interesting time to fuel up.
Yeah, so we entered into Switzerland, and Mr. White was in charge of all of the petrol money. But Mr. White didn't realise that the Swiss don't use euros, they use francs, and we didn't have any francs. So fortunately, Keith had sufficient credit on his credit cards to enable me to keep feeding him euros every time we had to buy something in Switzerland.
Yeah. So where are we here now, Neil? That's probably just at the bottom of the Alps, are we?
Yeah, this is the bottom, and this is us arguing about me being right.
I was agreeing rather than arguing. I was agreeing you were right, but you were just right and no more. That was about the weather and the top down. Anybody that's watched Two Seats videos will know that I'm a bit cautious about putting the top down, because I need to have 2 hours warning and then 30 minutes to put my top up, whereas Neil can flick his little soft top up in seconds.
It is literally seconds, yeah. And this section was absolutely gorgeous. Listen to this.
Can't we just stay here for 2 weeks?
I think Claire and Michelle would have had something to say if we had to stop there for 2 weeks.
I know, but what a 2 weeks we would have had.
I know.
And that's the start of those fantastic bends. Just there was a load of them, remember, just as we were coming into town as well. Just that last maybe 5 miles before we got to the hotel. I think this is us approaching it now. And yeah, do you know, the drive, and I think he did most of that stretch, must have been fantastic. But the chance I had to take photographs of the scenery and the views, obviously we're in June here, so we've not got much snow, although on another video we'll talk about some of the snow that we did come across. But this is us just coming into town now, isn't it?
That's
And there
the
it
off and
is.
off. Yeah,
That's where
it was so
it was
weird
there.
seeing that Mick Swan had checked in to the same
I know.
hotel.
I know. Fantastic.
And it's not we saw from his videos, it's not a ski resort, so it's obviously a road trip stop off point.
Well, you just saw as we came in the video. That's my video stopped here, but you saw as he came in the video, came into the town. Lots of bikers at that time of the year. We passed quite a few cars out checking out the passes, but it was certainly mainly bikes and bikers at the hotel. Some stunning bikes around the Innertkirchen, and the hotel was cracking, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
I mean, it had good security, if you remember, kind of halfway up the stairs. There it is. Halfway up the stairs, it had a security bear.
Yeah, that's Scary Bear.
Scary bear, so, you know, after 3 or 4 hoffs...
I didn't know they had bears in Switzerland.
They have growling bears halfway up the stairs.
Yeah, but if I'd have known before we set off, I'd have avoided Switzerland like the plague.
Is it a stair bear?
I mean, it just looks like it's taking the mickey, innit?
Yeah, well, it's laughing settling inside.
It's not laughing with us, though, is it? It's laughing at us.
Definitely not. Yeah. Yeah, and then look at the other thumbnail at the top there. Oh, it's gone. Was the view from the hotel. Yeah, just the next morning before we set off to do the pass, the clouds were sitting below the peaks of the mountains round about us, and it was pretty cool.
So seeing as that didn't take long, Keith, I'm going to share the next video, I think, which is the next morning. So we jumped in the car, and this is literally us, a short video of us getting lost in the Swiss Alps.
Oh, yeah, I remember this very well. Was I navigator that day?
I don't think either of us were navigating.
This was, yeah, it's not going to rain much, so let's leave the top down. You can see the window wipers are kind of proving that wrong. It's only 1 kilometre rain, I'm going to be
Yeah, so it had been... was it a combination of drizzle and whizzle? It just... You can see the droplets on the camera there.
Yeah, it was...
Windscreen wipers going full on. Not full on, slow intermittent.
You know, it was wet, but it wasn't wet.
No.
And it certainly wasn't wet. So it was definitely a top-down kind of... I think the weather's kind of reflecting how we were. We did a few hoffs the night before. We needed to blow the cobwebs off, but we needed to do it gently. We certainly didn't need the direct heat that we'd had the previous day in the sun and the old Baldy Napa. So I think this was a nice gentle drive and a nice gentle drizzle as we travelled to... Where were we going?
Well, we thought this was Suston Pass.
Suston Pass, that's right. Where were we?
We'd actually set the sat nav to Garmin.
That's right. And this is actually somebody's farm track.
It turned out that Garmin was the little village at the side of the Suston Pass.
Yeah.
So we're tramming up here thinking, I don't believe that this pass is as popular as it is, with it being a dirt track off the beaten
we were
road.
very surprised at the state of the road, and we were wondering how people passed each other, but the only fear we had of passing anything was
It's a
maybe
cat.
a tractor,
Yeah.
or maybe the bear,
or the
maybe
odd
the
cow.
bear off the
Oh yeah,
stairs
or
come
the
down.
odd bear. Yeah, so by this point, desperation's not setting, and I think it's just caution and a bit. Anyway,
I think the conversation went something like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We'll need to
turn round
and go back.
Yeah, but we couldn't
And then
find
we
anywhere to
said,
turn round.
Exactly. It was like there was a house there. It's a bit of a relief to see that there was still some population there. People actually used the road.
Yeah, as we're heading back into Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Because
the sun's out there.
Because this is the start of day 3.
Yeah, so this was us. We had a pass to take on board, and then we had quite a trip left after that to get us down all the way to Tuscany, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we had a fair old drive ahead, but this was kind of the point of this stage of the trip, was to do the pass. There was no point doing the trip and not doing a couple of things. One was going to Bruges, which we did as half an hour after we got off the ferry. The other was Luxembourg, because we hadn't been. And we knew that we were going to do Switzerland, and we knew there was a couple of passes we'd like to try. So this was a stage where we've probably got about 7 hours on the clock to take us to Tuscany if we weren't doing things like halfway up a pass, back down, and then up the other side.
Because at this point we didn't realise that the pass was shut, did we?
Pass was shut, and we didn't know. Because we didn't speak to anybody in the hotel who probably could have told us that, because the Suston Pass is just up behind the hotel.
This is pretty. Should we stop and take a picture of it?
Oh, look at the sunlight there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Lost in Switzerland, photograph taken.
I think we might have missed it, but I think we realise in a minute or so as we start driving down this road that we've been there before, like deja vu. Any second now.
Yeah, that'll be it, where you're turning the steering wheel.
Yeah, dawn of realisation that we've been there before. So we've just travelled 4 miles round here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I recognise you.
Oh, anyway, it's probably for another video, another session, and that'll be chatting about the Suston No Pass.
Suston No Pass, yeah. So what we've tried to cover today was the arriving at the hotel. Absolutely recommend it. So that was part of the video because Mick went there and really enjoyed it, and we really enjoyed it. So whether you're off road tripping, whether you're touring Europe for other reasons, or whether it's a destination, would definitely recommend the hotel. Food was it was good. It was basic but good, and the beer was very tasty, and the rooms were basic but good. So we recommend that. And the scenery on the way in and on the way out of Innertkirchen, or whatever it's pronounced, was stunning. So we wanted to cover that, and then it was definitely worth. That was like the next morning. And it was worth showing you the pre-Suston Pass. And so as well as us Blether, and Neil's going to do some clever editing so you can actually watch the videos. They're on YouTube anyway. I don't know if Neil can be smart enough to drop the links in. Because we've got loads of views, so it'll be good to get loads more. I think we've just watched it 60 times and that's it. Full stop.
So, yeah, something like that. It's most of our videos only get up to 100, so if I get 60 I get depressed, so I need to get that number up. So I'll link to my channel, get them numbers back up a little bit.
And please all remember, this is like 4.5 years ago, and in that 4.5 years Neil has had loads of experience now of quad flying and recording. Go and check out his channel for his flying work, which is Neil Pig. P-I-I-G.
It's just P-I-I-G.
Yeah, so go and check that out.
Pigs have got two eyes, or they'd knock into things.
And also, obviously, I've got myself a little MR2. Neil's on to his next MX-5. And so this year, 2024, what we want to do is show footage of both cars. And because of Neil's skills, now we'll get some shots from the air that we were kind of just getting into. We went to Italy a while ago, and we'll see where this goes. But I've got myself a drone as well, so purely for some footage of the car or maybe some landscape, and not going to be at Neil's level of skill, but it might mean that I can get some shots of Neil up and down some roads rather than me driving all the time. And of course, we've both got some in-car cameras, and Neil's got his clever 360 cameras, so we're trying to show you some stuff from the back in the day, and then with the technology and the experience more of Neil than me, this year you're going to see a lot more recordings of us out on the road. Neil's coming up in 2 weeks' time, less than 2 weeks' time, and that you'll see this video, and then hopefully we'll do something not live stream but something instantaneous, which will be the taking out of hibernation my little Carloo.
So I've got, apart from this, I've got the footage from a couple of weeks ago. So I set out to Marsden Moor, which I set out in glorious sunshine in Yorkshire, and then headed over to Marsden Moor, which is between Manchester and Huddersfield. And there was a blanket of fog, so I couldn't fly. So I ended up back in Yorkshire, just before Derbyshire, actually, on Home Moss. So that video's coming. That'll be a bit of quad footage and a bit of car footage, and my beardy face and beanie hat. And when we do go up, then it's going to be putting into practice the hints and tips that we've picked up from other YouTubers. So we both watch a hell of a lot of YouTube, and I've been looking at lots of van life footage, more for how they vlog and how they come across and how they use the equipment. So I think the session that we have up in Scotland in a week or so's time, 2 weeks time, is it? No, it's a week. Yeah, nearly 2 weeks. Yeah.
By the time this video goes out, it'll be a week.
Yeah, we'll be putting into practice some of the things that we've been learning and storyboarding. So yeah, watch this space. That should be fun. Hopefully you won't lose your new quad. I've just picked up a dirt cheap similar one that has got active track, so hopefully the quad should just follow the car or follow us. That should be fun. We'll see. All right.
Well, let's see how it goes. Thanks for sticking with us so far. Got some really good feedback from 2 or 3 people. You know who you are, especially the Ford Capri man. Must get you on board with some of your photographs at some point and talk us through your restorage of the Ford Capri. But meantime, thanks all, and see you in a week or so.
See you later.